What up, what's poppin'? It's your dog Breeze from Fahrenheit 451, part of the Fourth and Gold Network. We're burning the books alive, back on my best bets in the Wnba for September 22nd. Second round of the playoffs, game one, we're talking Aces and Fever. First up from the Las Vegas Aces, I'll be taking A'ja Wilson over her 25 points, minus 138 odds over on FanDuel. Risking 1.38 units on that one to win 1 unit back. A'ja, 29 and 38 points in her last 2 out of 3 games in the first round series versus Seattle. 24, 29, and 20 points in her last 3 versus Indiana, hitting that line in her last 1 out of 2 versus Indiana with a hook in the third game. 17 field goal attempts or more in her last 3 out of 4 games. 21, 18, and 17 field goal attempts in her last 3 versus the Fever. She's hitting this line in her last 8 out of 10 games with 17 attempts or more, averaging 28 points. 20% of her points come in the paint. Indy is allowing the most points in the paint in the playoffs. From the Indiana Fever, I'll be taking Kelsey Mitchell over her 20 points, minus 130 odds over on FanDuel. She's hit this line in her last 6 straight games versus Las Vegas. 24 points or more in her last 2 out of 3 games in her first round series versus the Atlanta Dream. 28% of her points are scored in the paint. 42% of her points are scored from the above the break 3 in her last 5. In the last 5, Las Vegas ranks 8th in the paint, in the points paint given up, and they rank 9th in above the break 3s given up. In her last 11 out of 12 this season, she's had 18 field goal attempts or more in her last 2 games versus Las Vegas and in her last 4 out of 6 games versus Las Vegas. She has hit this line in her last 11 out of 12 games this season when she has 18 field goal attempts or more. Risking 1.3 units on that one to win 1 unit. And last but not least, I'll be taking Natasha Howard from the Indiana Fever over her 10 points, minus 118 odds over on FanDuel. She's had 12 points in her last 2 games, 11 and 18 points in her last 2 games versus the Aces, 8 field goal attempts or more in her last 2 and in her last 2 versus the Aces. When she has 8 field goal attempts or more, she's hit this line in her last 24 out of 27 games, averaging 13.8 points. Like, comment, and subscribe for your daily sports betting videos and analysis. Let's keep running them. As always, I will see you tomorrow. If you would like access to all of my plays as soon as I place them for just 16 cents a day, subscribe to the Patreon. I will link that down below. Love, peace, and fish grease. Let's continue to run up these units. What up, what's poppin'? It's your dog Breeze from Fahrenheit 451, part of the Fourth and Gold Network. We're burning the books alive, back on my best bets in the Wnba for September 22nd. Second